welcome to Crochet Moments episode. What number is that, Emily?
17.
17. And this is my place where I like to talk all things yarn. And Emily has knocked a ball of it on the floor. Don't bounce, you're going to knock things off.
Yeah, you little incomplete.
Oh dear. This is only a mini takeover. Daddy has just gone upstairs to get Emily's bath ready.
But I want to have a bath.
We've had a very busy day today, haven't we, girls?
Yes.
We have been.
No.
We've been vlogging today, haven't we?
Yeah.
And what have we been doing with our vlogging?
In the car.
No, Emily. We went on a day trip to a National Trust property today.
Belton House.
Belton
House.
And we had lots of fun, didn't we?
Yes, and there was an adventure playground.
Yes. So we hopefully wore the children out on a trip to Belton House. Now, I did have a go at doing a bit of vlogging today, so that will probably go up towards the end of the week, so about a week after this video goes live. So I'm currently filming on April the 2nd, which is Good Friday at the moment, and I think it's safe to say the girls have enjoyed themselves. So Emily is wearing one of my finished objects from a while ago. Do you want to come this way so we can see it on the camera? This, and a few of you have been asking to see this being worn. So this is the unicorn jumper. Let's bring you down a bit lower. Don't need to lean too far forward. This is the unicorn jumper that I knitted, which is my first ever attempt at intarsia knitting. I hadn't done intarsia knitting before.
Intarsia.
And here it is. Oh, there we go. I'm putting my hand on the unicorn. So I'm not only keen on how the unicorn horn came out.
It's nice and squishy.
And the mane is a little bit strange. I think I
is.
sewed it on the wrong way round. Anyway, so girls, now we've done the introduction bit. Are you two okay to go sit over there while I carry on?
Bye bye. You'll hear me.
Okay, so you might hear them in the background. Simon has only just gone up to start running Emily's bath and getting it ready.
Mummy?
Yes, my darling.
I want your tablet.
Just a second while I get my tablet. Right, that's Emily sorted. Hopefully she'll sit quietly now. So yes, as I was saying, this is Crochet Moments, episode 17, and this is my place where I like to talk things yarn, knitting, crochet, and pretty much anything else, really. I do tend to go around the houses to talk about things that I'm working on. So to help those of you who only want to see a specific item or want to jump forward, timestamps are in the description box below, as are links to anything that I mention that has a link. And I always like to link the shops where I've bought things as well, because shout out to those people, especially the small retailers. We need to keep those going, so I like to occasionally buy from them. I have had an order placed and I'm waiting for it. I think it's got caught up in Easter Post, so fingers crossed it's here for tomorrow because I really want to see it. So straight into finished objects, and I'm wearing one. I finished it. I finished my Hummingbird cardigan.
And it is massive. And it is massive.
It's really, really big. Now at the moment, I'm just using safety pins to hold it
So get some
closed. I'm waiting for my local haberdashers to open, and then I can pop in and have a look and get some fancy buttons to hold it closed, because it's not supposed to close like this, but this is the only way I can get it to fit. So I'm going to stand up so you can see. Look at the sleeves, they're so long, but they are so lovely. I just really love this cardigan. As you can see from just looking at the back, it's really huge. It's massive. But I'm really pleased it's done. I did lose on Yarn Chicken on the sleeve, which was this sleeve. So as you can see, the previous repeats, so it's gone a bit dark. These repeats here have got right up to the row of treble crochets. This one I ran out, literally at the end of the box stitches. So I just had 7 stitches on the box stitch row.
Okay.
And considering I just had the 1 row of pattern repeat, I didn't want to buy a whole new ball of yarn for that. So I just did that in my main colour and finished it off. I also didn't add the main colour along the bottom. I wanted to keep it as the purple, but I did do the edging stitch, which I also changed a little bit because it's two rows of treble crochets. I did a row of the treble crochets, which was 2 trebles in each row end, and then I did a row of half trebles or half double crochets, depending on which terminology you tend to use. I find I flip between the two. I can follow an American term pattern with little to no confusion, and I can switch between English terminology and US terminology without much confusion. So I'm quite lucky. I know some people struggle, but I love this so much. I've already worn it a few times since finishing it last weekend. So that's all good. Now my next finish is my cross stitch. This has popped up on my, I'll try and get it so that it's really, let me hide, there we go, we can, let me hide so you can see it. So this is a kit that I had in my mum's stash, and the other one, there were 2 pictures in the kit, and the other one she had actually started, and I wanted to finish them both. This will be going to a home. I have a friend who loves flowers and pretty much all things floral, so I shall be framing this and giving it to her. It needs a bit of a wash. The fabric, my mum was a smoker, so the fabric has that sort of smell to it, and I didn't want to wash it before I stitched it because the threads needed washing too, so I thought I might as well stitch it and then wash it afterwards. So I should be doing that soon. So I'm really looking forward to having another cross stitch finish, but I have picked up a long time whip, so that will be a long time till it's finished because it's quite a large one, and I'll show you that soon. So those are my 2 finished objects, and I'm onto my whips now. So as I mentioned in my last podcast episode, I have started using a decision wheel. So every morning myself or one of my girls presses the decision wheel, and it will tell me what I'm going to be working on
Today
that
was
day.
me.
Yes, today it was Catherine, and what did we spin? Amigurumi. So once I finish this video, and I've had a gin and tonic because it's been a stressful day.
Oh, duh.
If you have had or currently have young children, you will know how stressful a day out is. And with 2 little girls who were very excited to finally be free because restrictions have been such for the last few months that we've not been able to really venture beyond our neighbourhood for walks and things. So we definitely wanted to take advantage of the fact that we are allowed to go a little bit further afield. It was only about an hour away, so not too far, probably on the verge of what would be deemed acceptable, but it was booking in advance, so social distancing wasn't too much of a problem. It was a busy place, it was busy there today, but there were no moments where we felt uncomfortable, so that was all good. Anyway, see what I mean about I'm going all around the houses? Let's start with my whips. Now I have just mentioned my cross stitch whip, so I might as well start with that. I have them all in a neat little pile here. I wonder how neat that pile is going to continue.
Not at all neat.
So this is a pattern I have been working on for several years, on and off, and it is a Heaven and Earth design. And this one is Amulet and Emmeline with the art, and the artwork was Leslie Ann Ivory. So this is what I'm working on. You'll have to ignore all the scribbles because I have a habit of scribbling on patterns. This particular pattern is how many pages long?
A lot of pages long.
It is. Like that. So it's 20 pages. 20 pages, and I am on page 11. So I'm around about halfway, although the bottom row of pages aren't full pages, so they're just like that. So so that's the pattern. Now it is still on the hoop, so I need to take it off the hoop so that I can show you properly without you. Okay, so it looks like Emily's about to go upstairs.
You're going to hear some rain, Joe.
Good night. Mwah. Good night, sweetheart. So now I was working on a Q-snap for this, but the bits that you put over the fabric, if you are familiar with Q-snaps, they're like plastic tube square, and you use sort of like plastic snaps that go over those tubes over the fabric to hold the fabric taut, but they seem to be not doing their job, so I'm abandoning the Q-snap for a little while. And going back to my hoop, let's unravel and flatten out. So this is how far I am with Amulet and Emmeline. It's very creased. The fabric's starting to get a bit mucky from how long it's been worked on. So as you can see, I'm quite a way into the page that I'm on, and it will get there. It will get there. But I have a whole massive pile of Heaven and Earth design charts that I really, really want to work on. So I need to get a move on with this one. There are a few smaller charts that I want to work on in between starting another large scale project. But this is fun to work on. And it's just the realism, just the stitches are tiny. I am doing one thread of DMC, and the fabric is 25 count fabric, so I'm not sure if you can see how tiny those holes are. So it's 25 count fabric, and I am stitching one thread over one square. So I did my first one, I did a smaller one. I did 2 over 1, and it was just too bulky. So anyway, I can't wait to work on this a little bit more. It's nice to have cross stitch back in my rotation of things to work on, because for a few years it was pretty much the only hobby I worked on. I found knitting took too long, and at that time I didn't know how to crochet. I've only been crocheting for a little over 2 years now, so that's that whip, which I shall put away later.
She says I can still hear her.
Mm-hmm.
Must be pretty excited for Easter.
Yes. So my next whip, I'm going to try and keep it under an hour again. We'll see. We'll see. It depends on how many interruptions I get. So my next whip that I'm going to show you, my work in progress, is my changing staircase shawl, and I finally have a printout. It's black and white, so it's not. So there it is. It's really pretty. I love, love, love this. Love it so much. I've got about 80 rows left. So depending on how long I get to work on this could be done in a couple of weeks. I can't wait. And I am using my birthday yarn. This was my birthday cast on. I'll show you the shawl and then I shall show you the information for the yarn. I can get it a little, I'm always getting myself tangled up. It's because it's getting so long. So here it is in all its beauty. It's a bit dark, it's not showing the colours to their true. Let's try and tip it so that that's a little bit closer to how the colours are in real life. As you can see, my attention's not the neatest. I'm still getting there with my knitting. I've always been a very basic knitter. It's only in the last, I would say about 6 months, that I've wanted to attempt slightly more involved patterns. I've very much been a stocking stitch girl, working flat, and now I've discovered working in the round. I don't want to go back to working flat, if I'm honest. So that is the shawl. And here is the yarn. This is gorgeous. Now Catherine chose this yarn for my birthday, and she chose this. It's Woolly Mama Yarns. Focus. There it is. And the yarn is Blueberry Jam. It's a 4-ply fingering weight yarn. It's a sock yarn, so it has 75-25 nylon. So I could have used it to make a pair of socks, but I wanted something special, and I think a shawl was, and I can't wait to wear it. I was actually wearing one of my crochet shawls today, so if you do watch my Belton vlog, you'll see that. Because it was so cold, I definitely needed it. So that's that whip. Now that is a free pattern on Dragon Hoard. If you go through their Ravelry page, it's a free pattern on there. So if you like that and you have a skein, it's a 1 skein project. So if you have just a random 100-gram skein of fingering weight yarn, or even I think you could get away with using DK if you didn't want to use fingering. You might need to use a little bit more to get to the size, but other than that you should be fine. So next whip, let's work on the whip that I worked on in the car. So I took my crochet with me today. So I had a new start, obviously I had a finish. So I had a new start, and I have set up a decision wheel on my decision wheel app with projects that I already have the yarn for. I've got about 7 or 8 projects on there. Some of them knit, some of them crochet, and I just spun the wheel, and it was a crochet project that came up, and it's living in my No Way Crochet Aldi tote. I need to get some more of these. I love them. If they had more messages. There's, I can't remember the name of the dyer. It might be Knit Me Sane. There is a dye that I've seen advertising occasionally, not so much recently, on Instagram, which was it's a little bit rude. So do excuse me if you're easily offended, but it's called I Love a Good Fingering, which is a little bit rude if you have that kind of mind. So the project that I'm working on is in issue 60 of my Crochet Now magazine. And no, it's not Bagpuss. Oh, pointing to the wrong corner. It's not Bagpuss. And it's not this really cute elephant, which might find its way onto my amigurumi list. It is this very, 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 very nice chevron scarf. Oh, let's do it that way so that I'm not showing. Oh dear, showing the pattern. So here it is. So this is it's one of those ones that you can just make it as long as you want. So the yarn the sample is knitting is a Rowan hand knit cotton. I do actually have a ball of that, thinking about it. I got it in my mystery bag, didn't I? So I could make another one of these. So at least one ball, a 50-gram ball is 85 metres, and it says one ball will give you roughly 56 centimetres of scarf, which isn't that long. So I don't know if you could get much. So I'm not using the recommended yarn, especially seeing as I've only just realised that I have the recommended yarn upstairs in my stash. I am using, I've lost the ball band, so I could not tell you the yarn, the fibre makeup of this yarn. I do know it is King Cole Drifter DK.
Seashore Raccoon. What?
Please don't interrupt. You make
Sorry.
You'll make my video longer. I know it's King Cole Drifter DK. I'm fairly certain it's an acrylic, cotton and wool mix, but I couldn't give you the percentages or how many meters are in a ball of this stuff, but I love this stuff. I had some given to me for my Mother's Day a few years ago, and this, I couldn't tell you the colour way, but it looks like it's very grey and it's got these flashes of blue in, and it's really, really nice. I really like this yarn. It's amazing to work with. It's got an amazing drape to it as well. And this is how far I am on it so far. Here it is. It's getting longer. It's getting longer. And I'm basically just going to keep going until I run out. So I couldn't tell you how long it's going to be. It's the width that it's supposed to be. I might need to block it, I'm not sure. I don't tend to block simple stitches like this. I don't know how much a blocking would do to enhance just a basic treble stitch. But see what I mean about these blues. I just love how it's working up with the colours, and it's got a lovely drape to it. So because of the cotton content in this, I think this would make a really nice summer scarf. We'll see how long it is once it's done. And I'm using one of my favourite stitch markers from my mini skein club that I subscribe to from Dina's Home of Crafts. There's a donut. I love that one. the designer of this is Sarah Hatton. Oh, Sarah Hatton, that name rings a bell. I think the knit along I'm doing is designed by Sarah Hatton. I shall have a look, and if it is, you'll probably see a little message up there going, yep, I'm right, or nope, you're wrong. And it comes from a book. Now it's going to be really hard showing it. I shall put my hand over the pattern, but she has this book, 10 Simple Crochet Patterns, and I would be really interested in having a look at that, because it does, the cowl on the front looks really nice, and this is, even though it's really basic, it is just a basic stitch. I've never had much luck with any of the zigzag stitch patterns. So ripple, this is the chevron. I know ripple involves doing treble 3 together at some point in the dips. I think, I could be completely off base. But anyway, I'll be keeping my eye out for that book, because it does look good and I'm enjoying this pattern. And who doesn't like a simple pattern every now and then? It's definitely a palette cleanser after this, which it is. This was a simple pattern, but the block stitches, and I don't have to think when I crochet on this. It's just 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. So I don't have to do much thinking when I work on this, which was why it made for good car crocheting. For on the way home, I did the driving there and he did the driving home. So let's pop that back in there. Oh, I'm beginning to wish that I had brought a drink with me. My throat's ever so dry. Now I'm going to pause the video and come back, because getting close to my 20-30 minutes, and I'm back. So that's, I never thought I could have got myself a drink while I was doing that. Never mind. Anyhow, I just have 3 more whips left to show. So let's show my Summercourt top. So we've seen one of my Dragon Hoard patterns, and I got to work on this one in this last 2 weeks. Here it is, the Summercourt tank. This is a paid for pattern, although I managed to get it for free using a voucher that was posted on Instagram back in November now. So it's been sat on my shelf waiting to be worked, and still working on it. This is slow progress. Very slow progress. So let's show you. So I think on the last time I showed you, I was, how many rows in? I've done 3 rows since the last time I showed you, so it won't have grown much. So here it is. Let's get these sleeves out of the way. There. If it will even focus on the lace. It's not going to focus it. Oh, there it is. So I've got 2 of the chevrons worked almost, and I'm still undecided on the yarn, but I've gone so far now. I'm committed. I'm not ripping this. Each round takes too long to give up, so I'm committed to this now. I'm committed to the yarn, but I do like the colour changes, and this is for Catherine, so she does like the bright colours. So, and this is the yarn that I'm using. It is a yarn I bought from Nottingham Yarn Show. Why is this not focusing all of a sudden? There it is. This is Cuddlebum's hand dyed yarn from the Heart of the Pennines, and it's mint rainbow. I don't know if this is a colourway they still do, and it's really pretty. Just those lovely colours there, and it's got some sparkle in it as well. And Catherine likes a bit of sparkle. So this was in the bargain bucket. I managed to find 2 skeins the same for £10 each rather than the usual 15. And I really love this yarn. So that's that project. It looks crazy balled up. This is it balled up. You can just see just like every single colour in there. It's really crazy. Let's pop everything carefully back in there. I have a tickle in my nose, like I'm going to sneeze. Oh dear. So 2 more whips to go. I'm on a roll today. And I haven't gone too off base in talking random rubbish. So this is my sock whip. Now, I have fallen in love with some knitting socks. So I have decided I will always have a sock whip on my wheel. So as soon as one sock pair finished, another plate takes its place. So I am keeping these in my Knit Me Saying mystery Christmas bag still, because I love it so much and it's the perfect size. I do plan on getting another sock bag soon, or even making one. I have tons and tons of fabric, and it's not hard to make a bag. Probably not one as nice as this and well made, but I can just about manage to bash one out on my sewing machine. So I have half finished objects. I have a pair of half a pair finished. So this is my left sock. Am I on the left sock? What sock am I on? Yes, this is the left sock. The pattern runs down the outside of the foot. Let's hide myself so you can see. Which is really, I did notice when I tried them on and posted a picture on Instagram, there's a hole in my gusset pickups. So I need to fix that. I need to fix that. But that's the work of moments. But I've sewn all my ends in. I've been such a good girl. They're all sewn in. And I just love this yarn. If you look at the other side, and you can just see all of the colours. This is the pattern toe bean socks that I got in my Christmas Eve box that I bought from Knit Me Saying, and I will be buying one this year because I just felt it was completely and utterly worth every penny I spent on it. And this is a yarn. It's Let It Go. Do I still have the yarn band? Yes, I do still have the yarn band. So here it is. Knit Me Saying. And I love how if you can just about see the sparkle. And here is the information. So it's the Let It Go Christmas Eve box 2020. Standard 4-ply. This is 75-25, 100 grams, 425 meters. So I have started sock 2, and that's in my DPN holder. And I have actually discovered that I quite enjoy using DPNs. I have quite narrow ankles and things, so I cast on 60 stitches, I think it was, for this sock, and it fits perfectly. Where is it? Cast on? Yes, so 60 stitches. And it fits fine for me. So the last pair of socks I made with myself, I did a 64 stitch cast on. And I did feel they were a little bit on the loose side. I didn't know if that was just my beginner sock knitter's tension or just it was a bit big for me. But here is the sock so far. So I've just finished the ribbing. I've just started the lace on there. This is the stitch marker that came in the box as well. It feels completely weird using a Christmas tree stitch marker in April. So I might change that for one of my others. I could use my really pretty rainbow stitch marker from my last mini skein box. So that's those away. And I keep all of my tallies in a little book. So there's the tallies I did for Emily's Hermione socks. And now that way I know how many rows I've done for each sock for myself, and when I'm making future socks I can look back and say, oh, how many rows did I need for my foot there? So that's that whip, and I have two whips, because I've got my knit along I haven't shown you yet. It's because it's not down there, it's there. You can just see it there. And this is my Outpost sweater. I've nearly finished the first sleeve. I feel like I have been working on this for a long time now, and I suppose I have. I started it not long after Christmas, didn't I? But it's not far off, especially as I have made the decision that I won't be doing. There's a cable. Let's find you the picture of. So this is what it is going to look like, and it's just over the pattern. So these are some of the features this jumper has I haven't or am not going to do. So I didn't do this because I don't really need it there. Nobody will see it, so why does it need to be there? And the cable, I'm not planning on doing the cable in the sleeve. I'm just going to keep it straight all the way down. So that's that might make the second sleeve a little bit faster as well. So I've gone through several attempts on different methods for knitting this sleeve. I started with what size circular needle? I can't remember what length circular needle, but it didn't work. It was too big. So then I bought the smallest cable for my interchangeable set that I could find, and that didn't work. So I've gone to DPNs for the sleeve, and yep, it's all going well. I bought myself these. These are the Knit Pro carbons, so they are carbon fibre with metal tips. Not overly keen, if I'm honest. They're hollow tubes, so as I knit, it's that noise the whole time. Whereas when I'm knitting with my metal circuit DPNs, they don't, and they're knocking on each other. It's not quite a loud noise. So I won't be buying any more of these, especially seeing as a set of these set me back £11 on Amazon. But I mean, they are light. They are very lightweight. So if you have an issue with knitting with metal needles because of the weight, then definitely go for these. They are expensive because they're carbon fibre. Oh, that was loud. Sorry about that. I forgot to turn the notification noise off my phone. That was probably an alert saying that, I don't know, something with one of the games I sometimes play. So here is the sweater. Let's pop that down. Here it is. So I tried this on yesterday, last evening, and it's fitting nicely. I haven't followed the sizings at all on this. At all. I think I picked up more stitches than was needed, top and bottom on here, and I made it work. I don't know how I'm managing to wing it, because I'm not an experienced knitter. So winging it is tricky. I do have a gap from picking up my stitches that will need fixing, so I will attempt to avoid that on my next sleeve. I've got about 3 inches worth, 2 or 3 inches left to go, so I worked that out at somewhere in the region of 15 rows left, so I can't wait. And then it's another I-cord bind off, which I did for the first time on the neckline of the sweater. This is all knit in my Aldi So Crafty Aran yarn in the forest green, and I love this colour so much. I might even be lucky enough to have enough left over to make a hat or something. And there is a pattern on the reverse of the sleeves for an Aran cable pull-through wrap. So not only do you get a great ball of yarn, you get a pattern as well. And I think they're about £5. I haven't looked to see what the pattern is on this year's Aran to see if it's different. I bought 2 balls in the latest. I'm losing my sleeve. So that's that. So I should pop the pattern in there in a moment. So every morning for the last few weeks I have been working on the Black Sheep Yarns knit along, and it's coming along quite well. I have had to amend the way I was working on the second square. So the first square is all done, so it was 4 like this sort of twisted pattern. I did run out of the green, so this is I'm using scraps. So I'm starting off with all of my Crochet Society Advent scraps. So once they're gone, I will move into my other scraps. So I have leftovers from my Rosetta cowl, colour crafter. I've got some colour crafter left over from my D'Histoire Naturelle, which you can't actually see because it's behind me. So this is the Rosetta, this is the D'Histoire Naturelle, and this was the Advent cowl for things. So I'm surrounded by cowls. So this is some colour crafter that was left over from this one. Yeah, so the next one is mosaic. I have never ever knit mosaic before, and my sleeves are getting in the way. I'm just going to pause the video while I take my cardigan off and get myself a drink. That's better. I don't feel quite so dry now. As I was saying, square 2 is mosaic knitting, and I've never knit mosaic before. I did attempt to do, because there needs to be 8 of this design, so I did attempt to do 4 at a time on my circulars, but I got it in such a tangle that I decided to move to 2 at a time, and I bought myself a set of the Knit Pro Zing straights, and I love them. Absolutely love them. anytime I want to work from straights, I will be buying another pair. I'm not going to go ahead and buy a set just because I don't know what sizes I'm going to need. Now I have just noticed a loose thread from this. The yarn split a little bit. Let's just get a hook to pull that through with. Let's pull that through to the wrong side so I can deal with it later. So these are the two that I've made most progress on so far. And I'm really, really proud of my efforts. They're not perfect. I have got mistakes in them where I've worked the yarn in the front instead of the back, and for some reason I have wavy edges, but I don't care. This is the most advanced knitting technique I've probably done. I've never worked something like this before, and it's actually easier than I thought. I saw the picture for square 2 and I thought, yikes, am I going to finish this blanket? But no, I'm still going, and even doing 2, I'm getting knots. I think I might manage 4 at a time when it's just one colour. So I'm about halfway. Am I halfway? Just over halfway on these 2, and then I'll get on the others. But I've got all of these here to use up, and then before I start on my other scraps in my scrap box. Oh crikey, it's all in a mess. It's all in a tangle. So that really is all of the whips that I have to show you. That's everything that I've worked on in the last 2 weeks, and I'm hoping that in the next couple of weeks I will get at least one finish. It would be nice to have one finish at least. So let's have a look at my incoming. So where shall I start? Let's start with my gift from my children. Yesterday. Which just arrived today, yes. Yesterday, Simon had the morning off work and he sat the girls down in front of the PC to choose some things to keep them occupied for the next week of their Easter holidays. The weather is going to be atrocious next week. It's going to be wet and cold and yucky. So we're not going to get out as much as hoped. I've got a week of annual leave booked. Simon is still working. The plan had been to keep the girls out for most of the day so he's not disturbed too much. That's not going to happen. I'm not going out in that cold and wet rain all day, every day. I want to not end up with a cold. And while they were online choosing, they saw, how Amazon says, you might be interested in this. They saw a ball of yarn and said, let's buy Mummy that. Simon said yes. He was a little bit ripped off, which I find really funny. It just goes to show how little Simon has learned from me about yarn. So he bought me this very lovely ball of white Hayfield bonus DK. And for the privilege of getting it Amazon Prime delivery, they charged him £4 something for a ball of the yarn that you could buy from Lovecrafts for £1.85. So that really tickled me, that he hadn't got a clue. That he was buying budget yarn at premium prices. But I thought it was really sweet that the girls wanted to buy me a gift. And you can never have too much white, really, can you, in your stash? And I was running low on white yarn in my stash. So, good call. On to my other yarn. So, yesterday, I got my yarn subscription arrived. My monthly minis from Dina's Home of Crafts. And I shall try and get this box open without showing off my address. So this month she explained that the inspiration was milkshakes. With the changing of the weather, milkshakes become a drink of choice.
Milkshakes are really yummy.
So here is her card with the stitch marker that came in this month's box. I'm not quite sure what flavour this one is supposed to represent. It is supposed to represent a flavour. Now she does, a full set is 5 minis. I get the set of 3. So the flavours that she goes for is vanilla, chocolate, banana, mint, strawberry and blueberry. And so obviously you've got 6 flavours there, and that is supposed to represent one of the flavours. I'm not quite sure. Perhaps chocolate. Maybe it's chocolate flavoured. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is her card. And I recently bought from her latest shop update, which is still there. There's still plenty left. So do head over and get some stuff. She's really, really nice dyer. And these are my minis, and I love the colours. How cute are those? Those really want to be socks, don't they? I'm really considering attempting striped socks with some of these minis. Some of them go really, really well together, and these are just gorgeous together, aren't they? So this is obviously going to be the mint. I suspect this is the banana and this is the blueberry. I could be wrong, but I think they're lovely. Really, really lovely. And they are 75 merino, 25% nylon. So you get 85 meters, 20 gram skein. And for the 3 mini skeins that I get, I think it's, with delivery, it's just under £13 a month. So, and I love them. They're my little treat, because I'm not one of these girls that goes clothes shopping all the time and things like that. So I think a little treat.
If you do any shopping, it's wool shopping.
Pretty much, yeah. I have a yarn budget every month. It's not always going to go on yarn. Sometimes it will go on pattern books, patterns, if I see an individual pattern that I like, or anything to project bags, things with my thingamabobs. So my last bit of incoming and a little bit of planned future plans is my Crochet Now magazine arrived. So here it is, and this month's has got quite a few things in it that I really, really like. So first I'll show you the gifts that came with it. And I love stitch markers. I'm a stitch marker girl. And look at these. They're so pretty. The little swallows in different pastel colours. And I think they're so cute. So I can't wait. I'll get these out later and pop them in my fancy stitch marker box, which is just a tub for fancy stitch markers. It's not a fancy box for stitch markers, it's a box for fancy stitch markers. Anywho, and this also little amigurumi pattern book for crocheting birds of the British Isles. Now I do have somewhere the first set of patterns that came with these, for these. But yes, so here we've got a barn owl, a bearded tit, kestrel, greenfinch, herring gull, mallard, a Scottish crossbill, a siskin, a winchat and a puffin. And how cute are they? Look at them all in the little setting there. They're all making friends. I haven't tried making any of these before. I'm not sure if I will.
Probably won't.
Because I have intentions, Zumigurumi intentions. I have my eye on getting a Zumigurumi book. I've seen a few different YouTubers making things from those books, and I really want them. I really want one of my own now. So I've got a gift voucher that I can use, and I will use it in John Lewis. I'm fairly certain I have seen one of the Zumigurumis, if not a couple of them, in John Lewis. Anyway, let's just do a quick flick through the patterns, the pattern highlights for myself, really, the ones that I like. So as this one, the Shrinking Violet wrap, and this is made using a sheepy's whirl, which I have yet to use. I've yet to get a sheepy's whirl. I absolutely adore this. It's made with king coal bamboo cotton, so I might use the asked for yarn for this one. Absolutely love that. Really, really, really. That's a romantic wrap top, apparently. And this amazing colourwork scarf. Check those stripes scarf, it's called. This is done in Aran, and it's in lots of different colours. So I might, in Karen Simply Soft, again, a yarn I've used. I quite like using it. I don't think I'd use it for clothing again. I made a sweater out of it. We're walking in the woods. And any more that I've marked that I've liked? Nope. And one thing that moves me nicely onto the last bit that I have to talk about today, and that is Crochet Now Cow is starting on the 25th of April is the issue that the first part comes out. Definitely, if you want to join along with me, if you and you would love to have the colour crafter kit, subscribe to the magazine, because you pay less than the shelf price. You can subscribe for a year and then cancel it after a year if you just want it for the cow. And here it is. Oh, I love that cow. Look at it. It's so pretty. I had been wondering whether or not I was going to keep my subscription going at the end of the last cow, which is upstairs in Catherine's bedroom, the mosaic hexagon. But
yeah, my extra blanket.
Yes, which she does use sometimes because she sleeps with her window open. She's weird.
I'm not weird.
She freezes herself.
I don't.
And I was waiting to see what the design was of the next cow, and this is it. It's designed by Esther of It's All in a Nutshell, and I follow her on YouTube. I follow her tutorials quite regularly. I think she's amazing, and the fact that it'll be one of her designs as well, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So I can't wait. So I have shopped my stash, and I only needed to buy the one colour. So here is all of the yarn I've picked out. So I've written down, I went through the colours that's in the yarn requirements, got what I needed, and worked out what colours they were from the names. And here it is. So I needed to buy the yellow, so I popped into my local range and bought the yellow, which is just a couple of balls of Patterns Fab DK. And everything else, it's a mixture. I've got some James C. Brett Top Value there. I've got some Deramore Studio, and this whole row up here of colours. Oh no, not all of it. Is that Deramore's as well? Oh no, it's all Aldi. It's all Aldi. All of this stuff at the top row is all Aldi. So that is going to become a blanket. And while we are on the topic of blankets, one of my lovely subscribers has told me that she is going to be starting the boho blanket. It's a Stylecraft design, and I took a look at it and I thought, I want to make one of those too, so would you like to make along with me? And it's like, yep. So we are going to do a make along, and I was thinking it would be fun to host a make along on this channel. So I will find a link to the pattern and I will pop it down below. I haven't worked out what dates we're going to work on for start and finishing yet. This is all in the sort of idea stage at the moment. But I would love to host a make along and maybe have a couple of prizes to give out at the end. I'm not sure how we'd work that with like international shipping and things like that. I'm going to think it over, all the nitty gritty stuff, and put together a proper list of, not rules. I don't want to be boring and have rules, but just guidelines. But I thought it would be really, really great if any of you watching would be interested in a make along. Please leave a comment below so I can gauge what interest there's going to be. And so I'm definitely going to do it. But whether or not it's going to be as a whole host of us doing it, I'll maybe try and start a Facebook group or something that we can post our progress pictures on. Or I'm not quite sure. Just like I said, if you're interested in joining a make along, I will link everything below for the pattern, and just comment below and say yes, I'm in if you want to join in. So I can gauge whether or not it's worth setting up a whole group for us to all chat along with and things. Because I'm up to 64 subscribers now, and it's really great having saying I have 64 yarny friends. And some of you probably are long time. I know definitely a couple are long time watchers of my channel and have commented quite regularly, and it's nice to hear from people. I should probably have mentioned right at the start, because I know not everybody watches right to the end, but you can message me on Instagram. I'm Crochet Moments, at Crochet Moments on Instagram. My email is below, so by all means drop me an email. I love to see people's whips or finished objects. If you're really proud of something and you want to shout it from the rooftops, and let me know. If you just want to chat, I'm open to making new friends, and this is the whole purpose of my channel, is making new friends, maybe even a community of friends, so that we can all support each other in our yarny journeys. Like I said, I'm still very beginner with knitting. I'm adventurous beginner because I like to take on big challenges. I like to challenge myself. And with my crochet, I would class myself as intermediate now. Until recently, I would just class myself as an advanced beginner. But I think I'm safely in the intermediate section now. There's still a lot I don't know, and still a lot to learn. And hopefully we can all support each other in all of that. Anyway, I've been yabbering on for way too long now. My husband is probably sat upstairs thinking, she started early. Why is she still going? Is this
I'm interrupting, like you said.
So I'm going to leave it there, and I will post this up probably on Sunday the 4th, which will be my 12-year wedding anniversary. And my vlog will go up sometime next weekend once Simon's had a chance to play around with it. He's very good at editing stuff like that. So I will wish you all goodbye and stay safe. I shall see you again soon. Bye bye.